Come explore the unknown and enter the Chamber of Shadows, a podcast for the dark, haunted, and mysterious. My name is Celine, and I am joined by my co host, Endora. Say hi, Endora.
Good evening, spooky fam.
Did
Happy
I,
that
me-
you're here.
Did I mess that intro up? You made a funny face. Did I mess it up?
I don't know. It's me having internal conversation. It is if you look at my face and I'm doing weird things, I'm probably having a conversation with myself in my head.
That's
It's my
so fair. Well, did you have anything? I have something I wanted to talk about, but did you have anything you wanted to taltalk about before we get
No,
started
there were
today?
a lot of things though. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, well, the first thing I wanna do is make an update because wasn't the Backrooms the last thing we did and released?
Yeah.
Okay, and I talked about the movie, and I said
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it. Yeah, well, no shit, Sherlock, I hadn't seen it. It hadn't come out yet.
I did discover that myself. Trying
Yes,
to yeah, I thought I was gonna watch it at home and then because I was like, "Oh,
but it
for
is
sure
out
she'll talk
now.
about it." Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
but it's
now.
out now.
Yeah.
I did not know at the time that it wasn't out yet, but
I
it's
know well,
officially
it's kind
out.
of exciting because it is,
That was
like,
crazy
among the
timing.
first of the movies that came out that are I think it's completely AI.
Is it really?
I think so. Well, it also was born from the intraweb, which
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
that's
true, true.
that's pretty cool. But I think so. I think it's one of the first movies that's all AI. I might be I mean, I'm sure they'll come for me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think
I have
I
no
think I just
idea.
heard that this morning,
But
actually.
what crazy timing that I covered that and, like, the movie comes out. That was not intentional, like, for anybody listening, that was not intentional.
Well, it's interesting that you said that it wasn't intentional. It definitely wasn't intentional, but I
Obviously, I didn't even know the movie wasn't out.
think but, missing 411 case is sort of connected to the case that I'm gonna talk about today.
Oh.
Um, yeah.
Well, before we get into that, I've got one more thing that I wanna say.
Okay, cool.
Only because I just saw this literally, like, right before I hopped on here. I saw it on TikTok. Her, like, name on TikTok is Artful Grieving. Her @ is at done with TikTok DDD, as in dog, dog, dog.
Okay.
Um, so she actually I sent this to you, I don't know if you had a chance to look at it. She she has started to talk about her father, who was a serial killer that was never caught,
Oh.
and he allegedly, like, told her, over the years, from what she said in her one video, he told her things over the years and basically just came right out with it. Um, but he is apparently dying. I don't know. I haven't looked too far into it from there, but she does note that he was a long haul truck driver from the late 80s to around 2018. His victims would have most likely been petite women, usually blonde, people he could easily overpower and control, usually young, in their teens, maybe 20s, which made me think of maybe like an Aisha Degree.
Right.
She was young. I mean, she was younger than her teens, but um his method would have been blunt force trauma, strangulation, or stabbing. She is looking for victims that would have been last seen at truck stops, who would have been into prostitution, or was last seen on the side of the road. Which actually, oddly enough, there was another case I heard about on Creep Time, shout out Creep Time, that covered a woman who disappeared off the side of the road. So I wanted to throw that in here. She is looking for potential victims. She knows there's victims, she just doesn't know who. So she's looking for, I'm gonna say, potential victims and
Right.
trying to see if there's any cold cases that she can help with.
I'm sorry, did you tell me that there an idea did he give her some number of victims that he had? Like
I don't know how she got the number, if he told her or if it was just things over time, but she did say she's thinking there's around 30. There
Wow,
could
that's a
be a little
lot.
more, could be a little less, she doesn't know 100%, but yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll definitely, repost that on our
Yeah,
socials. Of course, we wanna help.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah. So literally saw that right before we got on here, and I was like, "I better say something about this."
Yes.
That's a timing thing, like.
It is a timing thing. I mean, just pay attention to the signs. I miss them so frequently. So, yeah. Yeah.
Uh, well, with that.
Listen, I started this thinking that I was gonna do a little piece about Dogman
Oh,
because he's one of the cryptids that is relatively new to me. So I don't know a lot about him, and when I started, with the Googler Schmoogler, let's find some people who can tell me some stories about him. Came across this podcast called The Confessionals, and I think that man's name that runs that podcast is Tony Merkel, but Martin Groves, who is the subject
okay.
today, did an interview on there, and I was gobsmacked. His name is Martin Groves.
Martin
He's a,
Groves.
a former police officer with many years of service and a wide, very vast experience. And I know we come from a place of yes. I know that we come from a place of believing people. But when I tell you that I watched that interview, I read two of his books. But when I watched that video, it's 2.5 hours long. Um, Not a breath I felt was made up. Not for one single breath did I think, nope, that can't be real. He You can tell that he is given a lot of he the detail that he gives is like he's testifying in court. Like, you can tell that he
Yeah,
has obviously he was a police officer, so he's got a good eye for detail, but also the way that he presents it is very, these are just the facts.
yeah,
The facts. This is what happened to me. He doesn't even speak for Harry, really, who was his partner that he was with when all of this went down.
okay.
So, it's exciting because I thought I was doing a little piece about Dogman, but it actually turned out, better than that. So,
Okay, so this is not about Dogman then?
well, yeah, yes, it
Oh,
sort of
okay,
is, but it's
but
more
there's
than that.
more. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I can't believe what I'm about to tell you.
Obviously, I know nothing about it. I knew
Yeah.
nothing about I mean, I had heard about Dogman, but I knew nothing about Dogman. I still know nothing about Dogman. I don't know where I was going with that statement. I know you
Well
wanted to talk about him on the podcast, though.
well, I just wanted to learn about him, and, I here's another thing I'm gonna say. I've been dying to get to the LBL, the Land Between the Lakes.
Yeah, yes,
It
you have been talking
it's on
about
the
that.
line. I've been talking about it, I mean, for a long time, and now that I've heard this story, I'm like, maybe I'll put my foot on the brake a little bit because
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, I don't know if I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm pretty brave. I feel like I don't get scared by things, but this story when he tells this story, it's like sitting across from your papa and he's just telling you something that happened 30 years ago, but he's telling you like it happened yesterday. Yeah,
okay.
it's crazy. But I'm gonna tell it today and, encourage you to go to, um, The Confessionals with Tony Merkel and listen to Mr. Groves tell his story. I'm gonna tell a little bit of it today, but I'm definitely not telling you 2 hours worth. So,
Right,
I'm just
right.
gonna talk about this specific incident, and he can give you more details when you listen or read one of his books.
Well, tell me everything.
All right. I cannot express how much I hate that. That is
I had
horrible.
to. I had to. I had to
Ew.
do it.
That was like fingernails on a chalkboard. That was horrible.
I had to. I'm sorry. It was right there. I couldn't not. I saw the opportunity.
Um,
I took it and
Thanks a
ran.
lot, Riverside, for giving her a bunch of fucking toys.
Oh, let's get into it. Tell me everything.
All right, here we go. Martin Groves and his good buddy Harry had worked together in law enforcement for several years when they decided to take another hunting trip together in the spring of 1993. This time, they were headed to the land between the lakes, a national recreation area that covers an enormous 177,000 plus acres, shared between Kentucky and Tennessee. They would choose the Tennessee side, where they would be primitive camping and hunting turkey. Martin did not come out publicly with their story for 30 years. 30 years. The two main reasons for this were one, he promised his friend Harry, who was afraid of ridicule and losing all credibility as a professional lawman. And two, at some point, Martin also developed concerns about after being threatened that if he went public, the authorities involved would do all they could to end both of their credibility as law enforcement officers. The promise and the threats, however, would not be enough to stop Martin spending that 30 years investigating other people's claims and compiling their experiences. He's a man hungry for the truth because one day he would come forth with his experience both for himself, other experiencers, and the safety of the general public. A 30-year promise, that's like a marriage, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enormous. The friends were really looking forward to this break, literally getting away from it all and enjoying peace and quiet for 3 whole days.
What year was this? Sorry.
1993,
Okay.
a few years before you were born. Not many.
Oh.
By the time they drove 90 miles, then a few miles more, looking for a perfect secluded area to camp, it was getting late. They had just enough time to set up the tent under a huge rock outcrop. There was a little creek nearby, and they were surrounded by lots of mature oak and hickory trees. They made a fire ring, had some chips and sandwiches, washed it down with pop, and under the wool blankets they went for a good night's sleep. When they awoke in the morning, it was raining, but the first night was peaceful. Harry decided to hunt from the grove of the trees next to last year's cornfield that they plant expressly for wildlife, south of camp. Martin chose to go northeast. He made some turkey calls along the way, getting the attention of some hens and jakes, but no big mature toms. Undeterred, he continued on, following a game trail that opened up into a field and a gravel lane. That's when he heard a vehicle, a Nissan truck. There was a single occupant. He's in camo, so he's assuming that this is a hunter. And the man asked if he had any luck. He said that he bagged a couple of chupacabra. The men laughed, and the man got out and offered his hand, introducing himself as Bubba. Turns out he was a Kentucky firefighter. He had a camp about a mile north of this location. He invited Martin and Harry for coffee anytime. They chatted for a bit. Then, as he was about to leave, he said one last thing. "Hey, I probably shouldn't say anything, but keep your food up back at camp. I've had a little trouble at night with some kind of critter stalking around my camp. Y'all be safe." And they parted. Martin was getting tired. He checked his compass and started heading back. He was a couple of miles from camp. It was starting to get dark, and he realized how quiet the forest had become. Not a bird, frog, bug, nothing. Then a loud metallic sound rang out, like metal scraping on a rock. Whatever it was unlike anything he'd ever heard in the forest or anywhere else. Then a loud, shrill whistle in the thickest part of the surrounding woods. Martin responded with a whistle, but there was no reply.
No. Appalachian rules.
While hunting rules are you do that, so I don't think that you're something I want to shoot. He's like,
God.
"Hey, I'm over here." Or maybe he was like, "Hey, Harry, is that you?" But I guess it couldn't have been Harry because they didn't bring any dogs, so he didn't think it was Harry. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, so he whistled and expected to get a whistle back, but he didn't get one. As he was continuing toward the camp, he saw a large figure up on the ridge, like a good-sized man. The figure then started pacing him. When he stopped, it stopped. He could no longer see the figure, but he could hear it. When he did see movement again, he could see that there was more than one, and they were moving quickly around on all fours.
Uh,
A hunter and his hounds, maybe? That still doesn't explain the metallic sound, but it would explain the whistles. It was still completely silent in the woods. The only sound he could hear in the forest was the animal's footsteps pacing him. Then in front of him, he heard a loud, shrill whistle. Martin was certain that he had never heard a whistle like that from a human. That's when he saw it. A figure from behind a tree, like a man in a ghillie suit. It couldn't be Harry. He didn't have a ghillie suit. He thought maybe he had stumbled onto another hunter's territory. He waved, but the figure did not wave back. It disappeared behind a tree, and then Martin heard the scraping of metal again, just like before. He continued on his way to camp, and then he smelled the campfire. He called to his friend Harry, and Harry called back. Immediately, Harry started fussing at Martin for whistling and stalking him. He assured Harry that it wasn't him, then told him about the whistling and the scraping metal sound that he heard. He said he thinks he saw a hunter with his dogs. They discussed the possibility of this being a guy who thinks we are in his territory. Well, Harry was having none of that. He announced at the top of his lungs that they would be hunting here and nobody was running them out. They were starving and quickly changed the topic to having a more fruitful day tomorrow. They were heating up some homemade stew when a stick fell from the rock above them. Remember, they're camping underneath this outcrop. There's like
Yeah.
a rock wall, and at the top of the wall, there's like an
It
outcrop.
juts out a little bit. Okay.
And it's spring, so they're trying to, well, if there's a storm, maybe it'll
Yeah.
help keep some of the wind off of us. They were heating up some homemade stew, and a stick fell from the rock above them. Then, a small rock fell from the same area, just missing the tent. Martin and Harry whispered that they thought it might be the same hunter trying to scare them out. They were determined that this was their camp and they weren't leaving. Martin returned to preparing dinner, and after a few minutes, they heard a scurrying down by the creek. As the men turned their attention that way, Martin spotted what he thought was a cherry glowing on the end of a lit cigarette, partially hidden by an oak tree. He told Harry there's a man hiding behind that oak down there. Harry confirmed that he could see him. They decided to watch him but continued talking as if they didn't know he was there. They were unnerved. This was not typical behavior. What were they planning? Martin, finally unable to keep his quiet, yelled out, "Hey, we are deputy sheriffs, and we're armed. You don't come into a man's camp at night like this." Harry said, "Well, that's telling him, let's eat." Because he's just hungry. They're just hungry. Just at that moment, a large rock came off the bluff and landed right beside Harry. It had to be about 50 pounds. If it had hit him, it had probably killed him. They looked down the way by the oak tree. That's when they saw the glowing red light on either side of the tree. So now there's a red light on either side of this oak, and this oak is 3 or 4 foot in diameter. Like,
Right.
it's not a pair of eyes,
Right.
right? Harry grabbed his 10 gauge and stood looking down towards the trees. That's when Martin heard something coming from the west. Martin then describes being overcome by the feeling of sheer dread, pure evil, like he had never felt before. His hair was literally standing up all over him. He looked back at Harry, who remained motionless, still pointing his gun toward the oak tree. Martin then hears and feels a low growl, so intense that it sent vibrations through Martin's body. His ears began to ring. His head told him it was a growl, but his body responded by completely freezing. He could not move or speak. His heart had begun to race, and he was having difficulty breathing. His mind was racing, and now he was nauseous. Whatever this evil was, it had penetrated Martin's whole body and paralyzed him. Then he saw it, standing just outside of the campfire's glow, standing on 2 legs, 6 or 7 feet tall, not a man. Long, dark, matted hair on its body. A creature? Martin started questioning, was this a guy in a suit? A wolf's head? But the snout was shorter. Big pointed ears with hair on the tips. He exposed all of his enormous teeth to Martin. Though he was frozen with fear, his law enforcement training kicked in, and he was taking in every detail. Longer than human arms, with human-type hands, bony fingers like claws. As it continued, slowly closer, Martin started thinking that this was the thing that was going to kill and eat him. Would he ever see his family again? Harry is also paralyzed. He's also been affected. The creature is probably 15 yards away now. Martin could think of only one thing to do, as now it was close enough that Martin could make out its eyes, black and soulless. In his mind, he began to recite the 23rd Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not fear, for thou art with me. Immediately, he felt his right arm move, then the hand. He began to reach for his handgun. He pulled it from the holster, went into combat stance, and the creature started stepping backwards. This thing is intelligent. Is it a man? A creature? A demon? He started to lower his weapon, but as soon as he did, the creature began moving toward them again. Martin shot towards the animal's feet. As dirt shot up into the air, so did the creature. Right up the rock wall to the outcrop above the camp, fast as lightning. The shots broke Harry's paralyzed state, and he fired both barrels at the creature down by the oak. The impact strike was described as Thor's hammer on an anvil. This was followed by loud screaming and squeals. Huge creatures then ran from behind the tree into the cane field, still shrieking. Harry was also screaming, but Martin couldn't understand him. He doubled over and began vomiting. Martin covered them using his sidearm until Harry recovered. Martin then grabbed his 12 gauge, and the two of them made a run for the truck that was a few yards away. Harry jumped in the cab, and Martin jumped in the back, covering them from a tactical position. They could hear something moving in front of them in the dark. Harry was trying to get the truck started and all of its lights on, and Martin looking in all directions to keep them covered. Then all the lights, including a spotlight on the roll bar, cut on. Harry hit the gas. Martin could see 100 yards lit up in front of them. 2 creatures were crouching in the tall grass. Martin was confident that his buddy could get them out of there because he was a highly skilled pursuit driver. There was a creek bed up ahead, and they had to slow down a bit to get through it. That's when Martin looked back towards the camp and could see creatures tearing apart what was left of their camp, screaming and shrieking. Barely over the shrieking, Martin heard Harry yell something, and there was a big thud. He felt the impact on the truck. Then, in the truck lights, he saw one of them trying to hold on to the beds. It had scraped all the way down the side. Harry was yelling, "I got one! I got one!" When they finally reached the trace, Martin started pounding on the truck because he wanted in the cab. Harry went a couple more miles and then stopped. Martin and Harry, um, they got in together, and they talked about how the two creatures that were crouching were not wolf-like creatures. He said they're not. So in his interview, he described them not like Harry and the Hendersons or, the Patterson Gimlin girl Patty, not anything like that. He said they were hideous and twisted, and they looked like demons from hell. Yeah. So if they were Bigfoot, it wasn't Harry and the Hendersons.
Did they ever have, like, an artist try to draw it?
There are many drawings. I shared one of them.
You did,
Not
okay.
of the big I
Am
didn't
I
see it. I have not run across one of the Bigfoot, but I do have an artist rendering that I sent to you already of the dog men or the wolf men or
Can I look at it? Am
Of
I okay to
course,
look at
yeah.
the
Yep.
pictures now?
Nope, you're
Okay.
not gonna ruin anything. Yep, you can look. Martin told Harry that the ranger station was not far. Harry pushed back. No way was he telling anybody about this. We will have to find the ranger on duty. People are in danger. Harry gave in, but when they arrived at the station, it was dark. Harry wanted to just drive home, but Martin still felt a responsibility to report the encounter. They decided to go back to the trace. Harry would sleep in the cab, and Martin sat on the roof and kept watch. Before Harry turned in, he said those weren't cigarettes on either side of the oak tree. Those were eyes. There were two of them, one on each side. Martin agreed, and they joked about getting a taste of Harry's number 4 buckshot. Screaming and hollering. Martin asked his friend if he had seen anything when the truck lights first cut on. Harry confirmed he had also seen 2 hairy men in the field, different from the wolf creatures. Harry believed that those 2 things were the ones that were stalking and whistling at him yesterday when he was hunting. While Harry slept, Martin found it difficult to shake the anxiety brought on by the encounter with these creatures. The only sound he heard all night was the distant howling, like an alpha calling his pack back home. Harry woke up and they scarfed some jerky and pop. They then noticed the deep claw marks all the way down the side of the truck into the metal. They didn't return to camp. Um,
So
I
there's 2 different creatures?
minimum, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, this sketch you shared with me is absolutely fucking terrifying, by the way.
I understand. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw it. Yeah, that ain't the howling. That ain't, a werewolf in London. That is terrifying.
I don't I mean, I might make it out of there alive, but I will have shit in my pants on the way home.
Yeah. Who could blame you? Who could blame you? Yeah.
This is, like, just to describe a little bit of what I'm seeing, like, literally, it almost looks feline-like in the face rather than, like, dog, if that makes sense.
I saw some other renderings, which I didn't think that they wanted to see 110 pictures of
Well,
Dogman,
yeah.
but I did see a couple that, even during the interview, there's a sketch sitting in front of, um, Martin on the confessionals, that kind of looks bat-like in the face almost to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this literally it kind of looks like the face of, like, a lion or tiger hissing with the nose scrunched up, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh, what if I say this to you and then you just tell me your reaction? Hyena?
I think the face for what I'm looking at right now is too wide. Hyenas are usually, like, a little thinner in the face, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that
Yeah.
like a
Well, I
skinnier
mean, it
face
is
rather than wider?
yeah. Yes.
I
Yeah, I
don't
can see that. But
like,
that's what I
this
thought as soon as I
genuinely
looked at it.
I could compare I just zoomed in on it. I could compare this to, like, a lion or tiger snarling, and that's what I'm seeing.
Oof, yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
scary.
like that.
I
And,
don't
like,
like
the
it either.
whole rest of it is, like, you've kind of got this, like, main thing going on, but then the, like, lower half of the, like, body and limbs
Mhm.
are, like you described, just, like, sparse hairy. It's like a incredibly hairy man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this.
From the trace, they started seeing vehicles moving at a high rate of speed. Though they were both dreading the report they were about to make, they knew they had to make it. As they approached the ranger station, they could see a flurry of activity. News station trucks with satellite dishes, which I don't know if they have those anymore, but it used to be crazy when you would pull up
The
on
big, like yeah.
yes,
I
and
know
there's,
exactly
like
what you're
the
talking
news is
about.
there with a giant satellite dish. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know if they do
literally.
that anymore, but wow, yeah. Anyway, that's what they were driving up on. Um, News station trucks with satellite dishes and lots of rangers and law enforcement. They saw trucks with search and rescue dogs. Something big had happened, but they still needed to report their own encounter. When Martin approached a ranger, he was told that there had been an armed robbery in a campground and someone was injured.
Oh,
Martin
no.
said that he was sorry, but under the circumstances, he needed to talk to a supervisor. Ranger Gray introduced himself as the man in charge. After hearing Martin's recount of the events in their camp last night, Ranger Gray became visibly upset. He accused them of having been drunk. He accused them of shooting a black bear out of season, threatening them with legal repercussions, and assuring Martin that he was already in trouble for carrying a sidearm in a federal park. Ranger Gray detained us and took our credentials, he said. He called our sheriff, assuring him that these were very serious offenses. Our supervisor, the sheriff, of whom he's worked for since he was 18 years old,
Right.
the sheriff assured them that they were good men and great deputies. And if they're telling you that something happened, he should believe that. Not to mention that if they did shoot a black bear in self defense, it wasn't out of season because there's no bear season in the state of Tennessee in this area. Also, being deputies in the state of Tennessee, they are required to carry their sidearm anywhere in the state. If he wanted to fight it out in court, so be it.
Alright,
Rain
sheriff.
Ranger Gray returned, gave us our belongings, and advised them that they leave without speaking to any reporters. They could do that.
Okay, but, like, find this black bear. Okay, yeah, great. I shot a black bear. Okay, so go
Where
to our camp
right,
and find the
right,
blood
right.
and track that blood trail and find me my black bear that I shot.
Well, I mean, listen, Harry and Martin are much younger, I'm imagining, than this ranger. Also, later on, this ranger well, let me just continue.
Okay.
Martin heard a familiar voice say his name. It was a local deputy that Martin had known for some time. They laughed together about Ranger Gray, who was a puppet in the mayor's back pocket, which was clear to Martin and Harry already. Then the deputy told them what really happened. Seems a hunter was killed last night, torn to bits by an unknown animal. His Nissan truck had claw marks all over it. While they were talking, the tow truck came by with the Nissan. It was the Kentucky Bubba. Martin may have been the last person to see him alive. The deputy further stated that they had found huge canid tracks, and the bloodhounds picked up a scent. They tracked them as far as the buffalo range, but none of the hounds would go any further. The three of them decided it would be best for Martin and Harry to head home, and if there were any new updates, the deputy would be in touch. When they reached Harry's place, Martin promised to keep silent about the encounter. They shook hands and parted, both dreading their discussion with the sheriff on Monday because they don't know that this guy didn't tell them that the sheriff stuck up for them so hard.
Right.
So they're like, "Oh god, now we gotta go in and
Yeah.
tell him." Yeah,
Repercussions.
right.
Did they not tell I'm assuming did they tell the guy, the deputy, I guess, before they left about their experience?
Yes. Yeah,
They did. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yep. Yeah, they did, and, they talked about this poor fireman, um,
Yeah.
who felt pretty safe, but, you know, that last little, "By the way, something's been stalking around my camp," is
Right.
kind of upsetting.
Right.
Anyway, which is really messed up because that fireman has a family.
Yeah.
Can we tell him what happened? Can you tell him the truth, please? Don't they deserve that? I'm just wondering. Um, sure enough, bright and early Monday morning, Martin got called into the sheriff's office. Martin told him everything. This would be the first Martin heard that the sheriff pretty much handed Ranger Gray's ass back to him. And he explained that he had complete faith in both of them and he believed that they were telling the whole truth. He didn't question any of it. He also told him that he himself had seen a Bigfoot in Jamestown drinking from a stream, he and his hunting buddy, in
Not
Tennessee,
drinking from a stream.
Jamestown, Tennessee, many years ago. He and his partner were troopers at the time, and they were new, and they were not as brave as Martin and Harry had been. They maintained their silence. That was probably the first time he ever told anybody about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also had some bad news. Harry had suffered a stroke after arriving home. They didn't know how severe yet, but his wife said he would not be returning to work. Fuck. The deputy friend from the LBL reached out a few days later. He had news, but didn't want to talk on the phone. They met up at the LBL general store. The deputy confirmed that the official report stated the victim succumbed to an unknown animal attack. Well, it's true, right? But barely true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more than that. You're not
Right.
doing enough. Case closed. He also stated that they investigated Martin and Harry's campsite and that it was destroyed in the same manner. Since the attacks, the park brought in heavy machinery and knocked down huge trees, blocking the trails leading to that part of the forest. Ranger Gray kept all stories out of the news, as he always had. Like a good puppet, you know.
Right.
Um, yeah, so he has this conversation, he's relieved. This conversation that he had with his boss it has so many feelings in it, right? So he's relieved because his boss believes him. Um, and then he's probably shocked that his boss also shared this story, and now he finds out about his partner, and, um, yeah, that's a lot,
It's a lot.
for one
It's a lot.
conversation. Um,
Well, it's a
Yeah.
lot in general, even with, like, what he just experienced.
Right. Like, this is, like, the longest week in world history for all of the
Yeah,
things that happened. Um, Martin has dedicated a large part of his life to collecting information about human cryptid encounters and investigating the scenes. He has discovered one common thread in every case. The experiencer was afraid of reprisal or ridicule,
of course.
of course. He ended his book with a quote from a movie called Big Legend, which we're watching tonight. I haven't seen it yet, but this guy's fiance gets snatched up by a Bigfoot and he's going looking for her.
Oh,
So I know I'm excited. It's an older movie. I don't know how old. I want to say like 2018 or something. I never heard of it, which is crazy because I.
not you saying it's an older movie and throwing out 2018.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Anyway, he ended with this quote, and I want to read it. Did you ever walk down a dark street alone at night, maybe to get your car, and you suddenly feel that cold chill running down your spine as if someone is watching you? When you were a little boy, did your mother leave the closet door open when she put you to bed at night, and that darkness was looking out as if it wanted to swallow you up? Did you jump off the bed terrified that something deep, dark down below was going to get you? Children always know best. They know that terror really exists in the world, and as adults, we're afraid to believe it. But you, my friend, are not a child. You know there really are things that go bump in the night, and I too have seen monsters. I love that. I love that.
I had somebody ask me recently, literally recently, as in this past week on a tour, do I think that children really experience, I'll say ghosts for lack of better terms right now, ghosts? Um, and if so, why are children so open to it? And my response naturally, well, yeah, I think children do experience more supernatural, I'll say supernatural things because the older we get, the more we learn to fear things and the more closed-minded we get and the more things we learn that kind of change how we view things, how we see things. We have we put limitations on ourselves the older we get. I think children lack those limitations.
Yeah, they don't know they're supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
lack
it's
all of
true.
that. So I think it's interesting just in reference to that quote and secondary reference in reference to that quote, when I was little, I definitely felt like something was watching me from my closet.
That's because
I
something was watching you.
and fuck you for that. That's exactly why I sleep with my doors shut. Thank you very much. That is what made me become a closed door person is because but you know what? Even then, sometimes being a closed door person freaks me out because I don't know what's on the other side.
Right.
So, like, there's sometimes at 3 AM, I wake up, I have to pee, and I see my I see my bathroom doors closed, so I go to my, hallway bathroom and use that instead because I can see
I just
in.
can't even wrap my head around your
That
life.
way I don't have to
What?
open the door. That's real life. That's real.
I believe you because, I also remember when we travel, we carry weapons, and I do recall you slinking into the bed with me because you were scared to sleep in your own room, and I am very grateful that I recognized that it was you right away.
No, 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 you know what? That's bullshit because that was in Gettysburg. That was the first time we went to Gettysburg, and you know what? I was hearing stuff. I was hearing
Yeah.
stuff, that's why I came in, and obviously now years later and having been to that specific location multiple times and having that closet door in the room that I was gonna sleep in by myself pop open in the middle of the night. Heard that too, remember? The
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
last time we went?
Yeah.
Heard that happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm validated, that's all.
Well, I will tell you, I know I said it at the top, but I'm gonna say it now too. Just watch it. Just watch it. Even if you only watch the first half where he tells the story, he's also going to continue on about things that he thinks in that interview about who these creatures are. I mean, he doesn't claim to have any answers. These are just things that he thinks could
What
potentially be
what
true.
does he think? Does he think that it's a dog man? That looks
He
like a
d
cat man to me, but
he knows that it is.
okay.
Um, or a wolf man or whatever you would like to call it. He knows it's a Canaan,
Herbology,
and he knows it's
terminology.
not from this world. It's not from here, and it's not supposed to be here.
Well, that you know what? That brings up a great point too. What do we think this is? An interdimensional being? Do we think it's some
Well,
form of like an alien life force? I know
I'm
that
not sure,
sounds
but
super
the
crazy, but
connection from so there was a missing 411 story that I intend to share
oh,
later.
yes.
Um, but it was a group of 5 people, a man, I believe his just one of his sons, and, like, 3 friends. I'm gonna paraphrase all of this because I don't have it in front of me, but they were deer hunting, so what they do is they go, like, I would stand here, you would go down, I don't know, 10 or 15 yards, and you would stand here, we're all on the road, the next one another 10 yards, the next one another 10 yards, and you guys are trying to flush deer, right? So you guys are
Yeah.
trying to scare the deer all to go to one place. So they were doing that. These people had hunted together. Again, that was his dad, so he definitely had hunted there. I believe it was his son in the group. The older man, Mr. Messick, I think is his name, he was all the way down on the end. And they heard a weird metal sound and they're like, there's no car. We don't know what that is, whatever. But then Mr. Messick never comes back. So that metal on rock sound, again, here we're talking about it again. And I didn't even know I was going to be talking about it. Everything's connected. That's all I'm going to say. Everything is connected.
What is
But
this metal on rock sound though?
okay, so I can't remember if he or Tony said it, but they're wondering if that is a portal opening. That sound is a portal opening, and these things are coming out at that time. And then I don't know if more came or if the original ones went back. I don't know exactly what happened. Um, but they're wondering if that portal is where Mr. Messick went. Not necessarily. Nobody saw a dog man. Nobody saw, a creepy Bigfoot or a pretty Bigfoot or any kind of Bigfoot at all. Nobody said any
Yeah.
of those things. Um, but the sound is the same. And I mean, it just makes me wonder. There's something going on. I don't know what. He doesn't claim to know what. He does think that the Bigfoot that he saw, or the hairy men, or whatever you wanna call 'em, that he saw are not typical, and he did think that they were running those dogs. Like, those were their hunting dogs. That's what he said, that he considered that as a
Oh.
possibility. Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. And I
Mhm.
mean, portals, for lack of better terms, portals are like a theory in the missing 411 cases.
Yeah. Well, he knows David Paulides
Yeah,
Paulides,
Pilates,
he knows him.
Pilates.
They've met and they've discussed it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't investigated that any further,
yeah.
um, but it was kinda
We need
shocking to me that I thought I was doing a cryptid case and really I'm doing a, "Wow, that's fucked up" case.
we still need to get our hands on those missing 411 books.
Yeah, we will.
Because there's cases from there that I wanna cover too. It's just so I mean, I've been fascinated with missing 411 for years.
Mm,
I had when I first started working a couple years ago at my one place, one of the vets looked at me and she's like, "Oh, yeah, we're going camping, yada, yada." And I was like, "In a tent in the Appalachian Mountains? That's what you're doing?" And I was the one who informed her that Mothman is, like, a genuine thing. Same vet. She did not know when I showed her the picture of me at the statue, and she's like, "Wait, hold on." Like, it was just something her brain conjured up, and she was talking about it the next day, and she's like, "Mothman? Like, what if there's a Mothman or something?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I've been to the Mothman Museum." Showed her the picture, and she's like, "Wait, hold on, that's a real thing?" But I, like, got into feral people, and I got into the missing 411 cases, and she's like, "Wait, what?" I've been chest deep in missing 411 since I heard about it years ago.
yeah,
It is
that's very scary.
it's terrifying. It's terrifying, and it's terrifying that these national parks are hush hush about it.
I hate that so much. I mean, this guy here at the LBL, I don't know if he's still there. That was a really long time ago. He's
Yeah,
probably dead. But he seemed like he was older than them at that time.
right.
And it seems like Martin's probably close to our age, maybe a little older,
Yeah.
not a lot. But it definitely seemed like the movie Jaws. I kept thinking as I'm reading that, I'm like, you're the mayor of Shark City, dumbass. Like, tell somebody, tell
Yeah,
somebody you need help. You can't
yeah.
keep hiding this because of the millions of dollars that are poured into this recreational area.
I
Like,
just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Are they hiding it because it's a government thing? Are they hiding it because there is a real problem with feral people? Are they hiding it because it's because of these what's believed to be interdimensional beings like a Bigfoot or a dog man or maybe natural beings like a Wendigo or a flesh pedestrian? Like I don't understand what the big deal about hiding all of this and keeping it hush hush is.
I don't either. I don't either. It's not safe. Like, these people are not safe. We've lost so many people.
So many. More
And
than we probably even realize.
of course, yes. Yeah. Mhm.
Like, think about, just homeless people traveling and disappearing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna have to do, but they're gonna have to do something. This
And
cannot
y
continue.
but you know what? Fuck everyone because the amount of creatures that have been seen in the Appalachian Mountains for how long? Oh, and by the way, other similar creatures have been seen in other countries across the world. Fuck
Right.
you. You're gonna tell me you're gonna tell me that that shit's not real?
Listen,
Don't even get me started.
they have
Where's my fairies?
hundreds of thousands of people that believe it. When they make fun of people
So
that are
many.
witnesses to this stuff, they have so many people that are instantly like, "Oh, that's bullshit. That's not true. That's"
I don't understand like, and I say this in the most respectful manner that I can. I don't understand people who genuinely believe that humans are the only things out there. That
right, where the
we are so special that we're, like, the only beings.
they definitely also think that we are the smartest also,
Yeah,
which
uh,
is
you're joking, right? Have
no.
we seen some of these videos of people like,
Yeah, I
I'm
can't.
definitely not the smartest being. Don't start me on trivia. You do not want me on your trivia team. Like, I genuinely don't understand. And even, like, people who use religion as a backing for that, okay, well, the Bible talks about angels and demons.
Right, right. Yeah, as soon as, in the book, as soon as we got to the part where he was like, "Is this a man in a costume? Is this a wolf man? Is this a demon?" As soon as he was like, "Demon," I'm like, "Yes, please turn to God for some help." And he did.
Start praying. You better pray to every god you believe in, baby, because I know I would be.
"Please hurry, please."
Like, I Michael, what was who were we talking about? Oh, The Exorcist. Was that when he,
Oh,
like, prayed to Michael? Oh my god, and I got
yes.
those tears in my eyes. I
Yeah,
think about that all the time.
it's so powerful.
All the
It's
time.
so powerful. That is literally a book of spells that God handed us and was like, "Can you put this to use, please?
God,
If you
I
have a
just
little trouble and you can't reach me, just look at this book."
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a lot of things in this world that we can explain. There's a lot of things where we can be like, "Yeah, there's science behind it." But there's a lot of things in this world we also can't explain. There's like
Well, I
there's
think
just
somebody can explain it, but they're not Sharon. So somebody knows. Somebody
You know
knows.
what I've been seeing a lot of the past, like, week?
Hmm.
Don't know why. My shadow people are back. Mhm.
Really?
Like, real bad. So bad to the point where I genuinely think somebody's walking by, and I turn and I'm like, "Nobody's there."
Right. Mm.
I don't know. I have a story to tell you. I better not tell it on here, though.
Okay.
It's about a
Well,
specific location. I mean, I guess I could, but it's about a specific location here where I live, so I don't wanna, like
oh yeah, maybe you better not do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Oh,
Well,
well, with that
I wanna
is
thank,
there
Martin Groves for writing his books and doing his interviews, and I would like to also tell him you're the best storyteller ever, ever.
thank you
Um,
for coming out and sharing your story too.
listen,
I know how difficult that had to have been as somebody in law enforcement, like, that stuff is frowned upon for
yeah.
people in certain positions, so
Yeah, and he's not alone, like, he's got a family, okay, these people that are jerks like that, they don't just wanna mess with you, they
right.
also now they're gonna talk shit to your kid, now they're gonna
Of
be like, "Oh,
course.
yeah, your dad's scared of the wolf man." Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think
just
he
not
had any
right.
kids, if he did, he didn't mention it at that time, but, anyway, yeah, I mean, he's got a mom and dad. How
Yep.
about your boy being scared of the wolf man? How about fuck you, you go out there? Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Go on back, and then you can come back and tell me about it. Okay.
Literally. Okay, sidebar, and then we'll finish. In The Rookie, the show The Rookie, there's, 2 different episodes where they're filming this documentary in the movie, and they're talking about, like, these supernatural things, and the one woman's husband, he's like, "Yeah, but, like, whatever," and she's like, "Oh, yeah? Why don't you go? It's just down the road." Or, "Well, we'll watch the movie tonight, that's fine." And both times, they just end up staring at each other, and she's like, "Point made." Like, yeah. Say all you
Yeah,
want, but why don't you get your butt out there and go see? How about that?
yeah. I mean, these guys didn't believe that that was they had been in the woods all their lives, and
This
they
was
didn't even
not
believe it
something they
was a
went in looking
possibility.
for.
Right. Yep,
That's
yep,
not what they were there for.
yeah, yeah, and then I think about, little Endora that was allowed to just wander feral up on Tyler Mountain in Appalachia. Um, my mama never let me do anything, but she let me do that, and literally dared things to show themselves to me. It never happened, and
Of course not.
I'm so shitty about it. I'm shitty about it. Not that I wanna have. I certainly do not wanna have a Martin and Harry experience, but,
And that's
I
crazy coming from you.
I was looking for something, and I'm still looking for something, to be honest, but I don't know. We'll, stay tuned. We'll see if I've got a big enough chest to find myself in the LBL after dark. I don't know if I can do that.
I'm terrified of we've talked about this, I'm terrified of the woods anyway, so you won't be finding me.
Well, if I'm going, you're going, so.
Oh my god. God, it's me again.
Um, anyway, thank you, Martin. Thank you, Tony Merkel. I did enjoy that episode, and you're a very good interviewer. As somebody who has no interview skills, I think you're amazing. I recognize I recognize talent in other people, just not in myself.
Just not myself. Oh my god. No, you did great, this was awesome, and definitely something I had never heard about.
Same,
I
never.
will be sharing that picture because it's unsettling, but if you find any other pictures, send them to me, I I swear to God, I'm gonna do better about posting. I really am. But with that, we will see y'all in 2 weeks. Oh, no, I'll say it when I never mind. We will see y'all in 2 weeks. Peace out, adios, sayonara. See y'all then.
Bye.
Bye.